Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Blueprints. It is a different day, and I have some different resources. So, since the previous episode, I spent like an hour thinking about the puzzle with the clock that we found downstairs, and did not come up with new ideas. And so I talked to a friend of mine who has played this game to try to ask for suggestions and kind of talk through like what I was doing. And he gave me some vague hint that is maybe that I would need to push the button multiple times. Like if it's 109, add 6. What if I do 109 and push the button and then add 6 and push the button and so on and so forth? So that at least gives me something to play with. So then I went back into the game to try and recording an episode to try to do that. And I went to my observatory, and the Southern Cross, which is required, was not in the sky. And I was like, what? And I double checked, and I had the same number of stars, and it was the same day because I had Alt F4'd the previous day. And so I Alt F4'd again and restarted the day again. And Alt F4 closes the game, by the way, if you're not familiar with PC. Um, and got different random skies a few times. And then when I finally did get my Southern Cross, I closed out. I drafted all the dead ends out of my house, and I wasn't able to spend my last gem. And you have to get all your resources out because you have to go in completely bereft of inventory to work on that puzzle. And anyway, like you also have to like wait until it's the sacred hour, which is 1:30, which is like 40 minutes into a run. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm going to have to RNG just to get the right sky in the observatory, just to have the chance to wait for 40 minutes, assuming I didn't close out the house while trying to stay inventoryless while doing this. Um, and so like I talked through I was on Discord or whatever, and so I was just like writing messages to my friend, but he wasn't even there to respond. Um, like it's a roguelike, and so far the RNG really hasn't bothered me very much. I've heard people complain about it, but all of a sudden like I would just like to try this puzzle again, and it's like I've spent 3 hours on the game now since then, and I have not been able to get back to the puzzle. But in terms of talking through strategy, since you have to be naked to actually get to the puzzle, I was like, I can either play a bunch of runs naked, which basically doesn't let me do anything else. And by naked, I just mean like no money, no gems, no items. Or I could get money and gems and items. I could exhaust my money if I draft the chapel next to the bedroom, which is a mildly difficult constraint. Gems you can mostly spend down, although I've struggled to spend them down a couple of times. So you could play with gems. Items, however, your basic two ways to get rid of items are either to use the trading post outside, but I was planning to have the treasure trove outside, and it is one of the options that'll be outside today because I still have the Blessing of the Monk, and I am set up once again with the treasure trove that I called it a day on yesterday. Or Lost and Found, which requires a bunch of steps. Like if you have 5 items, you'd have to walk in and out of the Lost and Found room 5 times, so that's like 10 steps gone just to get those items out of your inventory. Assuming that you're doing something else in the run and then you finally draft the observatory sky that you wanted. So I thought through all these options, and like none of them were good. I even thought about starting a new game, like a new profile, like starting from scratch, just so that I would not pick up as many items in my room directory. Like we all these found floor plans and studio editions, some of which are just hindering me from drawing the things that I want. And so I thought about spending a few hours building up a new deck and getting all the upgrades that I want specifically to try to get this done. But I thought that was kind of ridiculous still as well. And so observatory stars, I know they were deterministic at the beginning of the game. Like, the planetarium actually has a directory of, like, the first 50 days or whatever. Like, here's the different constellations you'll see in the sky. And so at some point it became random. So I just decided to look it up. And it turns out that after you go over 200 stars, it becomes random what you see in the sky each day. And so, despite the fact that I had grinded for stars, because I was trying to see the end of the spiral of stars, and last time I think I had 259 stars, now I have 198, because I drafted the inkwell and spent down all my stars to get back into deterministic. When I draft the observatory today, I'll be back up to 199, and the Southern Cross will be in the sky. So I can guarantee that the observatory today is going to give me the constellation I need, so that I can actually get back and try this puzzle again. And I looked up the spiral of stars, and like the I thought it was going to be building to something good and maybe get a permanent upgrade once you got all the words in the spiral of stars, but no, it's just kind of nonsense and stupid. You can look it up if you want. But it's like they didn't know what to do at the end game of drafting a bunch of stars, and so they just decided to turn it into chaos. So yeah, basically I have more information. I'm frustrated with the game. Like I rage quit earlier when I was trying to record. But I think I'm back onto a place to where I can get done what I need to get done. So, or at least attempt to get done what I need to get done. So let's do it. I want to get a few elbows out of the drafting pool, if I can. So we'll draft some elbows, and then we'll go into the corner and get the observatory if it hasn't shown up yet. And then, I don't love the workshop here, but I'll take it. And then we'll go make another attempt at the puzzle, which is the thing I really want to do. Because, I don't know, it feels like definitely the most important thing to do. So, if I have something that goes through over here, Chapel would go through, then I can get to a corner and use the power of the rook and almost guarantee the observatory, because it's like standard, I think, in my current deck. So, show me the observatory. Coat check is going to be necessary as well, so I'm actually going to take coat check, because assuming that I succeed at this and actually get an object from all of this, I'm going to need that object in some future day, I'm pretty sure. So having the coat check ready to go is actually good. So I'll just leave that there for now. While I'm here, do I want to draft this? I think it doesn't hurt. It'll just get something else out of the drafting pool. And the break room is always nice. Another elbow out of the pool. So now we'll try to make it to the other corner and draft the observatory. Yeah, this seems good. And hallway gets me right to the corner. Bedroom gets another corner out of the pool, but it's a little bit longer to get back to the corner. I think I should be able to get the observatory now. All right, show me the observatory. Come on, observatory. There it is. Okay, so at 199, I can always witness this because it's deterministic. 199 stars always gives you the Southern Cross. So now that I have witnessed it, and I still have plenty of steps, then in order to get rid of the one gem in my inventory, I'm going to go draft the treasure trove from the Outer Grounds. Like so. And now we will head downstairs. But before I do head downstairs, I will look up at the clock that says it is currently 9:20, which means 10, 11, 12, 1. I have 4 hours. So I know how much of a break I need to take. So I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, it's about a half an hour later, and this thing just popped up. That was actually really good timing. So what I want to try And I guess it says I can push the button with E, and like I saw that and like never actually tried it last time, but so let's try pushing the button with E. So CIX is 109. So suppose I do that and push the button. Then add 6. I'm gonna guess 6 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And press the button. And then Torlor et would be counterclockwise word east. So east could be interpreted a few ways. It's next to the Roman numeral 5, so let's try that first. Counterclockwise 5. Okay, that did not seem to do anything, so let's try again. So 109, add 6. East could also be interpreted as 25 because it's like 25 minutes, in which case it would be this. Okay, and that did not seem to respond. So then let's do 109, 115. East could also be 26 minutes, because when you actually have the minute hand pointing directly at the word east, it's 26. So there's 15, 25, 26. It was none of those. So then the next thing is add 6, might be 6 hours rather than 6 minutes. So let's do 109 and press the button. And then I'll add 6 hours, which means I will go to 709. And then I will go counterclockwise 5 minutes. Like that. That is not it. I'll do the same thing with 25 and 26 minutes. 709 minus 25 minutes is this. That didn't seem to be it. 709 minus 26 minutes would be this. That doesn't seem to be it. So the East V could also be 5 hours. So if I did 109, let's try adding 6 minutes first to 115, and then backwards 5 hours, which would be 815. Does not seem to be the answer. 109. Let's add 6 hours, which would bring us to 709. And then subtract 5 hours, which would bring us to 209. That does not seem to be it. I'm not going to spend another hour on this puzzle, so I'm going to go look up the solution. Okay, I was in the vicinity. So the solution that is desired is 109, press the button, add 6, and press the button, and then go backwards until we're pointing at the word east, which I guess is 1226, and press the button, and then all of a sudden it reacts. Okay, that's fine. Like, I don't know. Here's my key, by the way. This will clearly open the treasure trove. Looks very much like it. I'm not in the right head state to evaluate whether or not this is an okay puzzle or a bad puzzle or whatever. But the combination of the RNG with what was the constellations in the sky and the fact that you have to wait for half an hour just to like try the puzzle, and you can't be doing anything else on the run because you're kind of hamstrung to have no inventory, put me at a bad headspace. Okay, the Royal Key of Ares. A key crafted from infused Second Era gold. Second Era? The real Alzara was an Arajan soothsayer. Edgera? I wonder if Edgera, EJ is like second, and then like JE is a suffix, could be second to last, maybe? I don't know. Gold and soot black onyx adorned with the original insignia of the Ares family crest. Oh, Ares family. Ares family. King Horus. Well, second era. Ares family. So Arie might be the name of the ancestor, like J-R... Oh, J-E. Second era. J-R-E. Well, maybe. Castle, court, cloak, A-R-I-E. I don't know, like, we have Archaries and Arindia Ares, and I don't know what the Ares was all about, but it appears that there's some name associated with Ares in the past. Okay. Getting the lore is important to me. And I think that's all we have to do here. I still have plenty of steps to now open up the treasure trove, where I presume I will find a scepter, and then I will be able to put it in coat check. And then on a future day that I haven't thought about what we would need to do, we would be able to... Does it say anything different when I look at it here? No. We would be able to do the thing. The outer grounds antechamber that led to the monk that said, like, heavy is the stone, something about a scepter, something about a crown, and something about a throne or something. I feel like this is the one piece that I would be missing to achieve some kind of ending, maybe? Or, who knows, maybe this opens up the second half of the game, for all I know. So, open the box. And it's a scepter! What a surprise! And a Jaren Royal Scepter. When you pick up Royal Scepter, choose a color. Floor plans of the chosen color are more common today. If you call it a day in a room matching the chosen color, Royal Scepter will not be lost at the end of the day. Oh, so I don't need to use it in coat check. I could just call it a day in the break room, which is a blue room, and click blue, and at the start of the next day I will have both the scepter and my keycard. Is what I'm hearing. I'm just rereading the text to make sure I understand it correctly. But yes. Floor plans of the chosen color are more common today. But when you pick up a Royal Scepter, choose a color. So that means at the very start of the day, since it's not lost, it'll immediately ask me to pick it up, and then those color rooms will be more common. What color room would I want the following day? Like, there is an advantage to putting it in coat check from the point of view of I could wait to pick it up until later in the day. The disadvantage is I would be kicking key 8 out of coat check, which I'm still convinced I'm also going to need at some point. Which is a pretty big disadvantage, because the gallery is a pain in the neck to draft. And then after that, you have to get to the 8th rank and spend the 8 key. No, you don't have to spend the 8 key. What am I talking about? I was just getting the 8 key. So it's just about drafting the gallery. I think for now, I could always coat check it another day. Coat check is also a blue room. Oh, look at this. Blue is the color of the thing on the door of Mount Holly at the end of the tunnel. Every color you pick, that's the Erajan Hourglass, that's the Corarican Heart, there's the Nuanced Diamond, there's the Archaries Mountains, or whatever they are, Lightning Bolts, I don't know. There's the Fen Pentagon, and there is the Arindian Black mirror-looking octagon thing. So blue, blueprints, is the symbol that's on this door that I haven't been able to open yet. Neat. Okay, I'm choosing blue. Blueprints are more common today. Confirm. Okay, I did the thing. And I only had to ask for a hint and then look up a solution after getting frustrated with the puzzle. Great. Yeah. Fortunately, I'm at that stage in life where I know that I'm playing games for fun, and so when they're not fun, when possible, I will just avoid the not fun bits. Okay, so I don't need to go to code check. I do want to go to the break room and call it a day. And then save, and I will have this at the start of the day because the break room is a blueprint. Just going to read it one more time. Oh, I still have the key of Ares in my inventory as well. I wonder... Well, the key of Ares is only useful in that chest, and that chest only appears in the outer grounds. I was about to say, I wonder what happens if you use the key of Ares on the treasure trove chest when it's inside the house. But when it's inside the house, it's just a normal lock chest with the normal key lock. So that's not interesting at all. I could continue playing this day, but I have no interest in it. Okay, call it a day. Call it. And then I'm just going to verify, I guess at the start of the day, that I have the Royal Scepter and see if it immediately asks me to choose a color, which I'm sure it will. In which case, I guess I should choose black, because that means I'll be able to get the throne room, which I think is going to be one of the 4 components I'm going to need to solve the whatever. No, I'm not going to be able to solve the whatever, because the next thing I need to do... Oh no, I do need to code check it. Okay, so first up, it's in my inventory. It did not ask me to draft a color. So does that mean it is still blue? It is still blue. Okay. Coat check is a blue room, so that's fine. But in order to... Scepter, stone, crown, throne. I'm holding the scepter. The stone, I believe, is in the cursed coffers in the shrine. If I draft this shrine and pick up the cursed stone object that I presume is in there, that I presume is what I need for the final puzzle, with final in air quotes, because who knows, then I will not be able to have an outer grounds antechamber. Well, do I need an outer grounds antechamber, actually? The outer grounds antechamber got me to the monk who gave me the clue on a little note card that said scepter, stone, crown, throne. But maybe I just need the scepter, the stone, and the crown and bring it to the throne room? Okay, I spent some time thinking about it. I have never played with blue being a more common color. I'm going to try to draft and gain a bunch of items. If I see the coat check, I will probably take it so that I have the option available to me for the future. I'm going to try to get into the antechamber and into room 46. Room 46, I would be able to use the foundation since I've got the key card in order to pull the lever down there. But if we find the throne room, I'll be able to pull that lever, and that would be even more convenient. Yeah, okay, so let's just do kind of a normal day, but we're going to get somewhat abnormal sets of rooms. So yeah, I'll go back to kind of normal drafting strategy. And probably want to hold on to the hallway in the early game, since it's going to be a little bit more rare today. And yeah, today could be an interesting game. Interesting day, only one statement is true. The gems are in the only true box. The gems are in the blue box. Let's actually do the whole day together, I think. If only one statement is true, then this would be false, and this would be false. So they're not in the blue box, and they're not in the only true box, which means they're in the black box. Yeah, that all works out. So give me my 3 pink gems. Thank you. And then I like to go draft over into this corner next. And an early conference room is good. But yeah, I think I can go quickly now. There's a banana here. I think I'll go ahead and take it. I might need a lot of steps today, so I'm being wary of that. And given that I've got doors on both sides, a closet's actually just fine. I never draft this out of a bedroom anyway. So we'll just get a dead end out of the pool, since it's going to come up a lot, since it's a blue room. Blue rooms are more common today, did you hear? Study is very valuable. Lab, I don't care to run experiments at this point. I shouldn't have wasted my redraw in the corner this early. That only just occurred to me, but it's fine. So we'll take the study, we'll take its riches, and now we have the extra re-rolling power of the gems. And now from here, attic, I'm also fine to go ahead and get this out of the way and get myself a bunch of items, even though it only leaves me one door. I have the re-rolling power that does not concern me. And I also have the foundation that I could come back up through later. Keys are currently the resource that I'm actually a little bit short on, and keys mostly come from bedrooms and hallways, which are not blue rooms. They might be harder to come by, although I just came by 3 keys, so 4 keys. So I'm not nearly as worried as I was just a moment ago. Alright. Everything's coming up Millhouse. Do I spend a redraw here? I think I won't yet. I'll just take the chapel. Clink. And I don't see... no, I do see something up on the altar. Den is perfect. Let's hold on to this room in the corner. We could re-roll for coat check later if we need to, for example. Observatory, I'll probably never need again, and it'll give me... Actually, it won't give me any bonus stuff today. Or will it? I think it'll give me all the bonus stuff today, maybe. I don't remember. Let's try not to mess with it, if we can. I don't think I need the keys right now, so I'm not going to bother spending the time on the break room puzzle. Here we go, trophy room. Okay, now I have a lot of rerolls available. So now steps is the next concern. So we want to get the dining room at some point. This would be good for keys and bedrooms, and it gets me up north. So I'm going to take this. And it gave me some dice. How nice. Even more rerolls. Treasure Trove would give me money. Hallway would give me different ways I can go. I think the hallway is fine for now. Eventually I'm gonna need... I have a secret garden key already. And the secret garden will give me levers into the antechamber, so yeah, I guess that should be a priority. So let's start working on that. Perfect. Special key, secret garden key. I don't really care how much fruit there is. I don't remember if this is a particularly good spot or not. There's a metal detector, which might as well take, although it's probably more of an annoyance than a value. In a recent patch that I don't remember if I've demonstrated this on screen, they did a thingy where I can pull the lever and then hold down escape, and it will skip the cutscene, which is very nice. Especially so because I want to pull the other lever. And so, oh, I can't do escape on these things? I cannot. Alright, so I still have to wait through all of this. So, they did a very minor service. I was going to give the developers credit, but now I'm taking it back, because this is the more annoying part, honestly. Yeah, they're both annoying. But now you get to listen to me talk. And turn each of these things 2 times. And then pull this lever. Da-da-da-da-da-da. The door opened, just trust me. Okay, so I've got 2 antechamber lever doors open. Now I want to just try to get up into the antechamber, so I guess we'll just kind of head in that direction. I've got 6 keys, which I still feel good about. Commissary, I could probably buy some more, so let's do that. Love to see it. Gems give me rerolls, keys, open doors. Gems are delicious. And even more delicious than that is bananas. Alright, we're done with the commissary. None of these go the direction I want to go, so I'm going to reroll. I'm choosing to use gems first because you can only reroll 8 at a time, and I've got 28 gems. I'm probably never going to spend them all. The gymnasium here will get me through. And it gets one of the red rooms out of the pool. I'm going to lose a couple of steps, but it's fine. Alright, no items here for me. Then these are not very good for me. I don't think I need to workshop anything. So let's see if we can do better. Nook. Fantabulous. Pick up a couple more keys. I think we have enough keys that keys are not going to be a hindrance for the rest of the run. Showroom helps get me where I'm going for the most part, so I'll just take it. Get another non-blue room out of things. Moon pendant's usually good, so I'm going to choose to take it. And silver spoon, also in case I need more steps after whatever's coming next. Could be good. So we'll do that. I don't know if I have the shrine, so I'm going to want more rerolls outside too, just occurred to me. Security lets me go both ways, which is pretty great, so we'll take it. I heard something beep. It is a coin right here. And sure, this doesn't even spend a key. These are not going the correct direction, so let's redraw. Ditto. Treasure trove and closed exhibit are both good. I'll take the closed exhibit. And then this should get me into the antechamber. There's a coin right over there that I don't even think I'm going to bother going after. Either of these are good. I'll spend the aquarium because I don't need the redraws from the witchadoodle. I don't know why I walked in here because I don't need to be in here yet because I haven't opened the north door. And I'm going to want the throne room eventually. I'm going to want the throne room eventually. So I should try to clear as much as I can out of the drafting pool. And also I am going to need, okay, starting to think I'm going to still need the coat check too. Just so this thing will stop shutting up at me. Oh, it's got a, I was thinking it was a coin, but it's actually the lockpicks. That's nice. I'm going to try to get a coat check in a corner in a moment. So we'll just use the bedroom for some extra steps in the meantime. And I'll take the money so the metal detector will be quiet. And I'll lockpick this door. Boudoir will give me some more steps and gems. And let me get another draft room out of the pool. Silver spoon doing its work. Who doesn't eat an apple with a spoon, really? This game has nailed it in that regard. There is my coat check. I will just leave it open for now because I have plenty of steps, even though it'll be a little bit of a while to walk back here. Next, I think I should try to get over to the foundation so that I can unlock the north door if we haven't found the throne room yet. And I won't be able to draft the throne room in the corner, so is there any other things that I know I want to take out of the pool in the corner? Throne room is a rare room. I could try to get the solarium up in that corner while I'm here. I just saw the solarium go by, but that actually seems like a reasonable thing to me right now. Is throne room a rare room? Let me actually double check. Found floor plans. Throne room. It is rare. Okay. I think I see a key on the ground, by the way. Is there anything else I desperately need to take out of the pool that I want to spend a corner on this with? I don't think any of those are. Conservatory is always nice. You know what? I've got a couple more corners left. Let's go ahead and grab the conservatory. Maybe the throne room will appear right here. Who knows? An old shoe. Oh boy. Also, a magnifying glass. Will I need one? Who knows? Alright. Boudoir. Standard. I'm pretty pleased by that. The kennel. Rare. That's fine. Vault. Rare. That's fine. Alright. We did not need to conserve a Tory, but we got it out of the pool. Did I dig this up? I did not. Turnip. There we go. Once again, who does not eat a turnip with the silver spoon? Just how I eat my Snickers. Okay. From here, something that goes both left and right would be great. I would not mind like a 4-way red room, for example. Hey, the throne room! That's even better. Exactly what I wanted to see. Now I can just pull the lever. Yoink. Alright. And then I guess I just want to go into the antechamber and grab the crown. Sounds good to me. There's the foundation if I need it. Library would get me there. Is there any reason not to like the library? Makes it harder to get to that other corner, but I feel like I've gotten most of my tasks accomplished already. So let's just take advantage of what the game is giving us. And grab a crown. Yoink. Remind me about the crown's power. So like if you see a red room, yeah, you can remove it and gain a gem and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So now I have the crown, I have the scepter, I have the throne room to bring it to. What I lack is a stone, which I imagine will be the cursed stone from the shrine, and I have plenty of rerolls to get the shrine. So I should exit through the foundation, since that will be the quickest walk back, I believe. Almost certainly, right? Because it's only like 4 steps back out front? Yeah, I think so. Also, speaking of steps, perhaps we will dig up another turnip. But not in this spot. How about this one? A key! You could open locked doors with that, did you know? If you didn't, it appeared on the screen to remind you. I did not need to be reminded. Another delicious turnip. Okay. Downstairsyville. Now, it is possible, I do not know, but in the Blackbridge storybook, when Jesper, or whatever his name was, picked up the cursed object out of the cursed box, he was cursed so that he only had 13 steps to live. However, I have drafted the secret garden, and I have the conference room right by the entrance hall, and so there should be some fruit in there for me, and I have a silver spoon, so I'm not worried about running out of steps if that is the curse. So I'm feeling pretty confident if that happens, but we will see. So, I need to get this shrine so that I can crack open the cursed lockbox and get the stone. So, shrine, shrine, shrine. Don't draft something else. Draft the shrine. The shrine. Terrific. I would like to take the shrine, please. I'm not going to be making an offering and receiving a blessing. Instead, I am going to... Oh, you can use a sledgehammer on it. You have a bad feeling about this. Are you sure you want to do this? Crunch. Oh, hey. Oh, that ominous feeling persists. Better... I did not get a chance to... It was like, better think it over or something. I didn't see exactly what it said on the screen. I'll have to see it in video editing. But yes, I want it. You foolishly picked up the deadly stone, cursed effigy. Curse mode is now unlocked. Also, you are cursed. You can now select curse mode when starting a new game file. Okay, so I know there's curse mode and dare mode. It appears to be... Is it like a bird? Is it like a reptile angel? He's holding a little dagger, so that's reminiscent of Jesper, who, like, used the dagger on the old man in the Blackbridge story. It does, from what I remember, it's in the shape of, in the original draft of the Red Prince, what it looked like the prince was holding when he was on the throne in addition to the scepter. So, I have a scepter, I have a stone, I have a crown, and I have a throne room to return to. I have 13 steps. You've been cursed. Each time you draft a bedroom, lose a step. Each time you draft a hallway, lose a key. Each time you draft a green room, lose a gem. Each time you draft a shop, lose a money. Each time you draft a red room, lose all of the above. Well, I don't think I need to do any more drafting, so that works fine for me. And 13 steps is plenty to get where I'm going. I presume I can still eat. Is there any reason to believe that I could not eat? I don't think so, so hopefully it will not be foolish to walk into the conference room and eat some fruit. Hello, fruits. Yes, fruit's still giving me my steps back. Okay. Just wanted to watch one in its entirety before I had a feast. But there we go. Step count no longer a problem. The metal detector was like beeping in here for some reason. Oh, because there's a microchip over here. Because they're back at their original starting positions. I don't need that. So now I just want to go into the throne room, I think, and then maybe I win the game or something. Like, I feel like this would lead to second credits. But maybe it just opens the door in the tunnel and I still need the boiler room and I'm going to feel foolish about it or something. Or who knows? Who does know? Not me. But I'm interested to find out. Also, cursed. I'm cursed for 2 days, apparently. Based on the 2 clock icon. Okay. And I guess that would override any blessings that you currently had, if you had a blessing. Since it appears in the same portion of the UI, that would be my guess. But let's go back upstairs. And after a long animation that I did not think to try to hold the escape button on, the moment of truth. Hey, something happened. Am I the new king of Erindia? Simon puts on the throne. Puts on the crown. He's holding the scepter. He's holding the... Steady as the scepter. Oh, let's listen. The old foreman.
Deadly is the stone.
Mary is speaking. That's Jesper, I imagine. Yes, that's Curse of Blackbridge story.
Heavy is the crown.
It does look like it has a lot of gold. Okay, there's Mary and either Caleb or Philip actually stealing the crown. So it would be heavy because of the gold.
Ready is the throne.
When would a chair be not ready? Blueprints. Title drop. We did it. Throne of the Blueprints. It's a new blueprint. The next time you draft 8 blueprints in a row, permanently unlock all blue sealed doors, the one at the end of the tunnel. Oh, and it disappeared before I had a chance to read the end of it. Thanks for that, game. Auto-advancing text is the best. I'm sorry that I've got so much sarcasm going on today, but I'm still salty about the clock puzzle. Okay, so now this room has been highlighted in blue. There is the Mount Holly seal thingamabobber. There are still mysteries. It looks like there might be a new puzzle box in here. Let's go into here and read about it. Former seat of the House Ares, enthroned anew in the 6th era of Nevmora, the New World, exalted beneath the blue banners of House Holly. Had to edit out a cough, sorry about the break in music. Where the sigil of Arinda Ares was once affixed, the crest of her ladyship, the Grand Architect, Baroness Aravier, our great-grandmother, now presides over the court. Where the sigil of Arinda... Okay. So, the Holly crest... Grand Architect Baroness, okay, and she was the one who bought the place from Lord Clementine in the deed. Okay. Neat. Could I draft 8 blueprints in a row today? Yet. I only have 2 doors available to me, but I do have many, many rerolls. One of the rooms would have to be the boiler room so that I can open the steam-powered door below, but I might be able to achieve the other portion of the ending. Also, is this added... Oh, it just changed. So what was the throne room has become the throne of the blueprints. And so... It is still a rare thing, but I can draft it and pay for it with 5 gems, so it's not like I would have to do this all again. On some future day, if I don't complete this today, I could just draft this and try to finish the other portion of the game, but I have some power to try to finish the other portion of it now, so let's go for it. I do prefer blue rooms right now, thanks to the scepter. My curse... Remind me what the curse... Well, on blue rooms, it doesn't hurt me. Right, curse. It's only these other rooms that hurt me. And I have lots of rerolls, but probably not enough, but we'll give it a try. Okay. So, let's try to draft 8 blue rooms. Including a boiler room. No pressure. Room number 1. Well, they're blue rooms, but I really need something that's gonna give me more drafting power. The observatory... I am probably not gonna be able to get the kennel up there. I could throw a dead end up there and then try to use the hallway and just get 2 of the rooms here and one of the rooms over in the corner and then the other 5 in the middle. That's not unreasonable. So let's do this. It's gonna throw off my... Oh, look, it's got 1 for the count of getting up the doorways or whatever. I am curious... Oh, I could use the inkwell. I could use the inkwell. There's my infinite rerolls. Hello. I don't know that any of these things are gonna matter, but we'll take some of the other good things as well. Why not? Yeah, I don't mind spending my stars to finish this off. Okay, cool. Is it worth going for the kennel? I don't think so. The pool? We'll add locker room and sauna. Locker room is a blue room, and it goes straight through, so that kind of helps my cause. So I will take the pool. Whilst I'm here, I might get more gems. Gems are rerolls, thanks to the study. I don't need the money at this point. These are also rerolls. Let's try to get the storeroom or utility closet or something needless over here, but it's got to be a blue room. Pantry could help me more elsewhere. Storeroom is perfect. I have 47 steps. I've not yet found the dining room, so 47 steps should be plenty. So I'll come in here to grab a gem. And then I just need to get to the hallway portion of the middle of the house, which is not too far away. I do want to go this way, right? Yes. I like this music. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. Am I going the right way? Actually, yes. Is there a room I can draft south at the secret garden? There is. So let's get a blue room here. It is fine to throw a dead end in here. Parlor is an elbow. Other than the utility closet, can I think of any other dead-end blue rooms? Right now I cannot, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw the parlor in here. And I'm a little bit worried about my step count, and I don't think I need the gems. I think I have enough rerolls, so I'm going to choose not that. Then I'm going to go over here. I'm keeping in mind that I still need the boiler room. Oh, the sauna. I forgot about the sauna. So I have to redraw these guys. Dining room is great because it'll give me steps. It kind of wastes... It kind of wastes one of my things. Workshop would actually be better. Yeah, let's take the workshop for now. I don't really need to be workshopping anything, so let's ignore the items. Laboratory curls me into a corner. Locker room would get me in a spot where I'm almost certain to get a T, like the dining room again, or an office that could curl around the right way, and I'm already up to 6 rooms, so let's do that. There could be apples in here if I get desperate. Pump room I don't want, so let's go ahead and remove the dark room. Dining room is perfect. Dinner is served. So steps are no longer an issue. Plus an additional 10 steps if you have the boiler room in your house. I'm not going to need 200 steps. So I'll just take this. I do need the boiler room. So, let's go find the boiler room. There it is. Great. Seal unlocked. Great. And now in the boiler room, I need to send steam power into here, which I do by clicking this thing a bunch. Verify that it is lit up. It is. And I think we will be able to go unearth Castle Arindia for the first time in hundreds of years or something. I could draft more, but I don't see a point. I do have a coat check if I want it later. So I think we just walk out of the house. We're out of the house. The tunnel is not that way. That's the Blackbridge Grotto. The tunnel is this way. Steam power should have opened up the steam power door. And now finally the seal to what I presume will be Castle Arindia is unlocked. This is a very long tunnel. Tunnel's an appropriate name. Zing zang zoom zizzle. This will open before me. Ah, crap, I forgot about the 3 microchips. That's actually going to cost me a few steps, but fortunately I have 75. One of the microchips is in Blackbridge Grotto, one of them's at the entrance hall, and one of them's near the West Bridge. I'll go pick up each of them in turn. Yoink. Yoink. And I would be remiss if I did not say yoink. So now I'm holding 3 microchips. Microchip, microchip, and microchip, as they are known, respectively. I do wonder how many days, like, you could solve all of this in-game. Like, I imagine you might be able to do it in, like, 10 or something. I don't know, I haven't thought about it very hard. Zing, zang, zoom, sizzle. Open the door, reveal the sealed door that will open before me because I drafted 8 blueprints in a row. A puzzle room. I am not holding any extra puzzle box thingies. There is one thingy. You've reached the end of your journey. There are 2 true boxes in this room. There is no end to this journey. And then there are 7 blue possible doorways, Mechanarium style-ish. There are true boxes in this room. Let's imagine that's true. And I've reached the end of the journey. None of those... There is no end to the journey. So I could say I've reached the end of the journey. And this is false, and this is false. I could say there is no end to the journey. Or I could say there's 2 true puzzle boxes in this room, in which case I've reached the end of my journey, but there is no end to this journey. Well, there are 2 true boxes in this room. This would be one of the true boxes. So if either of these were true... But I'm looking for the one with gems? Like... I don't understand what it's asking me to do here. A rather curious wind-up key. Can I use it in one of these boxes? I can. Like, do I think it's really asking me for something? Is there any other tricksy something I could be doing in here? I don't know. Like, I've reached the end of this journey, your journey. Like, I still want to do curse mode and dare mode. There's still more mysteries in the game, but let's just see what this does. There is a book. It is a blue book. I have a magnifying glass. I have learned that if you don't magnify everything, you will regret it. So I'm going to magnify everything. The Blueprints by Mary Matthew Jones. Thank you for changing the music, by the way. All right. To my son Simon, in whose eyes I saw the world anew. There does not appear to be anything magnifiable. There was a blue prince who sat on a blue throne. He had a blue crown made of sapphires and a blue castle made of stone. He is not holding any cursed effigies. And otherwise, I don't see anything particularly noteworthy. I feel like there is an opportunity for a moment here that is spoiled by the existence of the magnifying glass. But that's how the game is going to be because it's conditioned me very much that I have to use the magnifying glass to look at everything because otherwise I will have regrets. So if you wanted to have a moment, game, you should have not done that to me earlier, or you should have taken away my magnifying glass. Okay, so I'm sitting on a dock, And while there aren't blue lines in the background here, there are blue lines in the background here, which is kind of interesting. The prince had a love for all things blue. It's the only true color, in my humble view. And let's take a look at this picture. There is a spider web. The prince is not walking into it. If he were, we'd have to leave him a message and he'd call us back. There are some other blueprints, which are sometimes using other colors. In the olden days, they were made on black prints back in the original era, but then they figured out how to make them blue, and they were easier to read, and blue was not associated with any particular political stance or something, and then at some point in the future, people said, oh, we should use other colors as well, like violet for bedrooms, and not worry about politics, and that's how we got to where we are today, according to Drafting Strategy Volume 1, I think? Page 2, perhaps? This is from memory, so who knows? He couldn't stand the tint of a hallway or a shop. He couldn't stand the shade of trees the green rooms brought. All right. It's a bit of a stretch for a rhyme, but I'm okay with it. And we're going to use the magnifying glass. These pillars remind me somewhat of the pillars outside the cloister. This appears to be the view. No, it's the view from the mountaintop where we gained the throne room blueprint that looks to the north towards the Reddington downtown, I believe. He seldom talked to others. That's because there's no one on the estate. Everyone has left. They said, call us back whenever you want, and they don't give me the option to do so. He seldom talked to others, for they rarely shared this view. He never went to town, nor saw the flags they flew. All right. There is my blue box. It didn't even occur to me that I selected the blue box among the 3 boxes for the end of my journey. And do you know which game the prince instead would play? The one that made him happy whenever skies were gray? The sky today is not gray, at least not currently, here in Brian's IRL. A game he had played in house and on the grounds, and maybe you can guess from the clues that we have found, is the game called Blueprints, and it's a game that I'm playing right now because I'm a player playing a video game. Perhaps. Magnifying glass. He's holding the magnifying glass. Why is he holding the magnifying glass standing here where there would be a fountain? Shadows come down from the house like this. If he were holding the magnifying glass here, it would ignite something behind him, setting the beautiful flowers and the flower beds out in front of the manor on fire. Clearly that's a clue to burn down the house. It was a game full of rooms. These do not appear to have any text on them. Nor do I see anything funny business over here. In the stories that we climb, about a house full of lies and the truth that one prince finds. A house full of lies, lots of red memos, and the truth, the blue memo, that one prince finds. I understand the metaphor. Also, how many... I'm not sure if this is a missed opportunity. Well, these are red memos, not red letters, but there were not like 7 or 8 of them here. There are 9, I believe. Or are there 10? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. All right. Use the magnifying glass so that we can sleep at night. Okay, nothing funny business. And as you, my reader, might already assume, this game is quite near you, in fact, in the same room. A game about you and the plans that you made, about a blue prince and his blueprints. The blue game we just played. This actually does have something written. The true box does not always contain the prize. That was written on the back wall of the workshop, if I remember correctly. And it's just a reminder about how the parlor game works. True and false are orthogonal to where the prize is. And I think I actually did need the magnifying glass for that, so now I am glad that I had it and that I've been assiduously applying it on each of these pages. The end. All right. Can I take the wind-up key back out? Do I have a... I have a parlor that I did not pick up the wind-up key from, so I could go grab another parlor key. I have the steps. And open this box and see if there is another book. And... yeah, I feel like I might as well do that. Like, I didn't get, like, credits or anything that I thought I might. Which is fine. I'm gonna go grab another wind-up key if I can. If you did not anticipate a cut to me saying, yoink, then clearly you have not watched enough of my videos. Coin purse? I don't really want it. I should note, by the way, that we did not reach Castle Arindia, but that kind of makes sense. There are many places where we have a picturesque view of a wider world, but this game, we've been very limited. Like, we're in the house, and we're in a few areas of outer grounds, such as these, but they're all still relatively confined, and so being out in the wide world, such as in the giant castle, like, wouldn't really make sense, because you can't, like, fill up that space with tons of gameplay or something. What is the sound that I just heard? I heard a sound like something was sliding away. I'm gonna have to pay more attention outside. There's no end to this journey. This might be the quote-unquote correct one, because I'm getting a cutscene. The box is empty. Simon now looks at the blue box. The box is not empty. There's something in the roof of it. It's the spiral. Do all box roofs look like that? No, they do not. It's the spiral. Denoted in verse. Investor needed. What's the third one? Denoted in verse. Investor needed. Does it never end? Does it never end? If I use my hand on this, this will just shut the box again, right? Yes. Okay. We still need to address the fact that I heard what sounded like a sliding rock just before I entered this room. But I also want to make sure that these aren't like fake play-some-a-jiggers. I might have just heard the boiler thingy opening again. And it's too dark for me to see against these walls, because I still haven't upgraded my monitor. Maybe when I walked in here, like this door opened again and I heard it sliding. I'm not sure. And I haven't opened the third box. If I walk in again, do I think it might make that sound? I could try. Do I lose another step going out here? I don't. I think maybe I do when I go through this door because it's an actual doorway. I'm going to do that. Maybe this door is an actual doorway. No, I'm still at 43 steps. Okay, well, apparently I don't lose steps doing any of this. If I go back in here, I just want to listen. I do not hear the sound again. There are 2 true boxes in this room. Don't know what might be in that one, and I don't have a way to obtain another wind-up key unless I get super lucky digging one up with a shovel. Do I think that door will stay open permanently? If not, it's not that difficult to open again. Here's the crazy bird bath that has 8 things going around it on the inside. That reminds me of the sacred circle that really seems like there would be some puzzle associated with it that I haven't solved yet. I will have to do some serious thinking about what are all the loose ends that I know about at this point to move forward. Never found an unlocked gate that I did not open. The Alzara prophecy. We didn't meet Alzara at the end. I picked up the key and I kind of walked away and I forgot to even talk to him. Should I go try to talk to him? Maybe. I think I'm gonna take a stab at digging up the parlor key first. If I were to run out of steps, would I want to coat check the scepter, I guess? No, the scepter will stay with me so long as I call it a day in a blue room. So I can call it a day in the break room and keep that. The cursed effigy, I don't think I would need anymore because I've already transformed the throne room into the blue throne room. And the crown I probably don't need right now either. And I even have the moon pendant that will possibly save something good. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty free to roam. I'm gonna go see if I can get lucky somehow. The wine cellar usually has dig spots. And it would give me more rerolls, so I'll go ahead and draft it in the corner here and see if we dig up a parlor windy thingy. And I think that's the only other way I could obtain one since I don't have the trading post available to me. I can draft a room off the boiler room. I could get the courtyard here, for example. It is unlikely, but worth spending some rerolls to try to get, I think. Here is a free reroll. I don't like these guys. None of those are good. Courtyard, that's what I wanted to see. Thank you very much. Come on, wind-up key. That's a key. There's another key. Actually, there's a chance that I might get a lucky rabbit's foot in here. I'll take the gems, too. Which, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but like might increase the chances that I would dig up a... I got 3 keys in a row, wow. Dig up a parlor wind-up key. I think I've only ever dug up one once. That's assuming I'm remembering correctly. It's possible I only even like saw somebody else dig it up at some point. There's some more steps, that's nice. Okay, and then I've got some empty space to draft to the south. Well, if there's a coin or a key, I don't really need it, but I'm taking it anyway. Okay, anywhere I can find dig spots. I just want as many dig spots as possible. An ideal would be getting a secret passage going into the middle to draft a green room to try to get another courtyard. That's asking a lot. Should I take the East Wing Hall so I have as much drafting power as possible? I think yes for now, and then I'll save my rerolls to try to get the aforementioned secret passage, but I'll first try to get a few more things out of the pool. There's the secret passage at a time that I don't want it. So let's take the drawing room here. Let's attempt to get some other bad dead ends out of the way over here, possibly ones that have places to dig. Sauna's a dead end. It would get it out of the pool. I'm trying to think of what else has a dig spot. Honestly, I'm not coming up with one right now, so I'm just going to take the sauna for the steps tomorrow. Assuming there is a tomorrow. Also, who beep? Oh, it's a key. Alright. And then let's try to get the secret passage over here. So I will redraw. And then I will redraw. And then I will remove that from the pool. And then I will redraw. I think I spend all of my study redraws here trying to get the secret passage. But I should at least think about if there are dig spots in any of these rooms. I'm super curious if we can talk to Alzara again. First, I'll take the money so we don't have to listen to the beeping. Hey, Alzara, I fulfilled a prophecy. Do you want to talk? Who beep? Car keys beep. Beepy car keys, go away. Alzara is not interested in talking here. Maybe I didn't fulfill his prophecy yet. Maybe I never will. Maybe I've misread things. I don't know that this is interactable. I never brought a lockpick amplifier, pick lock amplifier, sound amplifier, or whatever thing here to see if I could listen to that record. That was one of the things that was still on my to-do list. Bunk rooms probably have some bananas in it for me, and I'm running a little bit low on whatever and getting... I'm more likely to get blue rooms. So I could get a blue room out of the pool this way, which is also good. I should not spend this much time thinking about this decision. I'm going to take the blue room out of the pool. And then I'm going to go try to draft the secret passage over here so I can get one more courtyard. Secret passage. Show yourself. Secret passage, secret passage, secret passage. I know you're in here. I saw you earlier. You can't keep all your secrets from me. Lavatory! Go away, lavatory. We don't need you. Secret passage. Where are you? There are dig spots in the kennel. Possibly only 1 or 2. The courtyard would get me 5. I still have 6 rerolls at least. I'm going to use my rerolls. Secret passage, secret passage, secret passage. La 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 la, secret, secret. It's a passage. It's got a secret. It's a secret passage. This is the secret passage sound. Okay, I still have more rerolls. Because observatory stars, who needs them? Not me, that's who. I reached the end of my journey, by one reckoning. So what would I possibly need these stars for at this point? The freezer. You know we're getting into the dregs of the draft pool. when you see the freezer. That is not the secret passage. Despite my best wishes. There's a lot of friggin' rooms in the draft pool. I'll take this down to like 140 or something before I give up, I think. But I know the secret passage is in here, and it'll give me 5 shots at digging up a parlor thingy, so I want it. There's the gallery again. Seeing the freezer and the gallery both go by twice. Perhaps the secret passage has some constraint in terms of where it can be drafted that I'm not aware of, but after spending like 80 rerolls on it, I am willing to give it up. I feel like the secret passage would work just fine there. I don't know why I couldn't get it, but let's see if I can get super lucky with the one dig spot. Nothing of interest was buried here. And then I don't think I can get a dig spot here now. I do have rerolls. I don't think there's ever a dig spot in here. There's not one in here without the root cellar. Not one in the office. Not one in the bedrooms. Dovecote. Dovecote has dig spots. Diggy diggy dee. An ordinary key. Our final chance. We did not get the wind-up key. Okay, that's fine. I guess I'll call it a day in the break room and see if there's any you won the game cutscene or something. Like, I thought I was gonna get something. I don't know what I thought I was gonna get, but I thought it would be something. Can't find a wind-up key in a closet thingy or whatever. Where's the break room? It's right over here. Okay, let's call it a day. Call it. Did I draft the entire house? I did. Good for me. A royal menagerie. Throne room, kennel, dovecote, aquarium. Menagerie. Okay, we've got animals of various sorts. I appreciate it. Let's continue and see if there's a new note on the table that says, "Hi, son, it's Mom. By the way, we all moved to this 8th continent on the South Pole, and you should come visit us." I mean, I really don't know what there would be at this point. Get extra steps from the sauna. There is not a new note here. It's not clear that anything has changed from the outset. Why do you exist, painting? Still many mysteries. Still 2 game modes. I still have a leftover curse that I'll have to deal with. I'm starting with a scepter, a keycard, a moon pendant, and lockpicks. So that will be helpful for the next day. But this is the place where I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to say that I hope, as always, that you all are having a great day. I'm not actually going to call it a day. I'm going to Alt F4. But I will see you again soon with more blueprints. For now, bye-bye.